Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Jill Valley.
And I'm Dennis Bragg. Boy, if you have to be on the roads tonight, allow yourself some extra time as this latest weather system is really going to impact travel.
Winter driving conditions are going to continue into tonight for most areas of western Montana, especially along and south of I-90. The Montana Department of Transportation reported early this morning that the Bearmouth Frontage Road is closed because of a rock slide. Access from the Drummond side on the east is still open. For the latest on what we can expect for the weekend and all these winter weather advisories that have been extended for some places, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost. Aaron.
Now, when you get a look at the radar, you're going to think that's not really that much that's left from this system, but it's enough to create some slick spots and that snow to come down pretty heavy for some folks still. Hamilton, earlier this afternoon, our First Security Bank iCam. Here's a look at that radar. Yeah, not very impressive, but still dealing with very slick and snowy road conditions. As Jill mentioned, the biggest impacts now along and south of Interstate 90. Northwest Montana, we are in the clear. We do have those winter weather advisories out through 7 o'clock tonight for a good portion of west central Montana, not necessarily for a lot more additional accumulation, just that continuation of treacherous road conditions. We will all see a beautiful Saturday with more sun than clouds. Temperature is going to be on the chilly side. I am going to have a lot more coming up in your full forecast, which does include another system headed our way by late this weekend.
All right, Aaron, and to keep an eye on the changing conditions in western Montana, you can download the KPAX Storm Tracker weather app to your phone. You'll get forecasts from our Storm Tracker weather team whenever you want them. It is free in your app store.
The Montana Highway Patrol is now confirming that one person died in a crash in Ravalli County today. According to MHP, it happened along US 93 just south of Victor. It was reported to MH2 troopers just before 11. The name of the victim and the cause of that crash have not yet been released. New information tonight about that box of bone fragments found in a Missoula shed this past fall.
Investigators with the Michigan State Police say the remains are not from 3 missing boys, nor do they match any other recent missing child case. In fact, they're most likely more than 100 years old. Using dental record comparisons and advanced X-ray technology, forensic scientists determined the bones are not those of the Skelton boys who vanished in 2010. The bones also do not belong to a missing 11-year-old boy from Washington State. When news of the discovery became public, law enforcement agencies from across the country checked their own missing child cases to determine if this could be a new lead for them. But the testing reveals these bones are historical or archaeological in origin, making them more than 100 years old. Those tests do confirm, however, the partial facial bones and teeth belong to 3 children, all under the age of 10. One of them could be of Native American descent. Investigators say the bones had been buried for some time before they were then exposed and later discovered in a box in a shed by a cleaning crew in Missoula. But because the bone fragment samples were so small, there's no way at this point to confirm the sex or ancestry of all 3 children. That material is going to be turned over to another agency for DNA testing to try to scientifically confirm the remains are not a match of any known missing child. That is a process that could take up to 8 months. Montana lawmakers who make the laws about medical marijuana often don't know how it's grown or tested or even sold.
But as MTN's Jonathan Ambarian tells us, today they got an inside look at this growing industry at the marijuana conference.
Despite snowy conditions in Helena Friday, dozens of people came to the state capitol to take part in the Montana Cannabis Conference.
We wanted to give a one-day ability for folks to learn about farming and cultivation science and testing labs and medicine.
Those in attendance heard from medical marijuana growers and the labs that test marijuana products, along with elected officials and the state departments that regulate medical marijuana. Dispensary owner Bobby Devine was among the speakers. He said it's important to highlight all aspects of medical marijuana production in Montana.
That's really the big thing, for one, the industry to get together and have a conversation, but also for the public to be able to see what goes on within the industry.
Many of the people in attendance had questions about new regulations coming later this year. The state will require all marijuana to be tested and tracked from when it's grown to when it's sold. Devine said he's supportive of the new requirements, despite the added cost for medical marijuana providers.
At what point does cost outweigh patient health? I don't think there is that point.
The conference was sponsored by a nonprofit called the Cannabis Way.
It's folks that just came together to bring all different sectors of the industry together, just purely for educational purposes, just to get folks together and share ideas about cannabis in Montana.
Organizers say they hope this will be the first of a series of annual conferences. Jonathan Amberian, MTN News, Helena.
Today's conference wasn't affiliated with the Montana Cannabis Information Association. That's a lobbying group for medical marijuana business. According to data from the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services, the state currently has about 22,000 enrolled medical marijuana card holders.
State Auditor Matt Rosendale today became the 4th Republican to officially file as a U.S. Senate candidate in Montana's crowded GOP primary. The 4 Republicans in the race so far are vying for the party's nomination to take on Democratic U.S. Senator Jon Tester this fall. Rosendale is a rancher and businessman from Glendive and a former state senator. He won election in 2016 as Montana's state auditor and insurance commissioner. Other Republicans already in the race include Big Sky businessman Troy Downing, former state district judge Russell Fagg, and state senator Al Oshepsky of Kalispell. Rosendale was at the Capitol today to pay his $1,700 campaign filing fee, and he told us that he's the best person to take on Tester because not only is he a principled conservative who will vote to reduce federal spending and regulation, but also because he's the Republican with the strongest campaign.
We have demonstrated that we are the only campaign that is actually even organized. We have county chairs covering all 56 counties, and I have demonstrated the ability to reduce spending. I have demonstrated the ability to reduce regulation, to defend our Second Amendment rights, to defend our property rights, and to defend the sanctity of life.
That primary is coming up on June 5th.
Salute the Badge is sponsored by Montana Rail Link, supporting the Main Street of Montana for 30 years.
They say law enforcement officers are like one big family, and for 2 Missoula County Sheriff's deputies, that is certainly true. As we salute the badge, we find out law enforcement is a family affair for the Jessups. Ross and Gordy Jessup were practically born to be cops.
I think it started when I was maybe 1, because my dad was the very first chief of police in Pinesdale, where I grew up.
Gordy's a patrol deputy for the Missoula County Sheriff's Office. He put himself through the Law Enforcement Academy and served as a deputy in Lincoln and Ravalli counties before coming to Missoula. This is exactly where he wants to be.
I love it. Best job in the world. I would like to just stay on the street as long as I can. I don't want to be a detective, work behind a desk. I have no desire to do that. I like to be out dealing with the public, dealing with my brothers and sisters on the street.
Loud! Loud! Loud!
Gordy shares the streets with his older brother, Ross, who's also a deputy, and the handler for the Missoula County Sheriff's Department canine officer, Loki. Ross is also on the bomb squad.
I really like danger, yes.
Boy.
Ross had contemplated other jobs in the sheriff's office until he was paired with his canine partner, and that's when he found a perfect fit.
It's the best job I've ever had in law enforcement. My ultimate goal early on in my career was to become a street sergeant, and that's changed now. I spent some time in detective's office, and I really enjoy working narcotics type cases, but after this dog thing, it's absolutely the most entertaining job in law enforcement you can imagine.
Of the 14 kids in the Jessup family, 5 of them are in law enforcement. The brothers do say they talk shop at the dinner table. They share a love of hunting, of football, and family. It's the difference they're making out in the public every day that makes their jobs so satisfying.
Unfortunately, we're seeing people in, the hardest times of their lives, so they remember what cop is there during that time. So it's an opportunity to make a difference.
Now, I did ask Ross if he thinks any of his children will go into law enforcement, and at this point he says no. He's got 3 little girls, but there is that legacy, so no doubt there will be more Jessups on the streets in the future.
The odds would point that
and
direction.
Gordy's kids too, so just watch out.
That's great. Thanks, Jill. Great story. Coming up, students in the Missoula High School learn how to stop bullying through music.
And we'll have details on a Valentine's Day bash this weekend that helps Little Hearts, organized by one of our own right here at KPAX.